Welcome to the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast with Mike Kincaid and Jake Goebel. Join them as they experience specialty coffee and document their journey. These friends explore roasts and roasting methods, brewing equipment and techniques, and review the cafes they visit along the way.
Thanks, Brioni, and thank you for joining us for episode 63 of the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast, where your dynamic duo hosts, Mike Kincaid and Jake Goebel, that's me, talk about Mistobox, AngelsCup, which are subscription coffee services. We review a local cafe that just opened. We tell you what's going on with the KingCup and just kind of the coffee business that we're trying to start and do a good job in. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I don't have time for that. You know what I do have time for? I have time to welcome you to the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast. Mike Kincaid is sitting alongside me.
Once again.
And I am Jake Goebel.
We're not hand-holding, though. So
and we are not hand-holding. And that's going to improve the audio quality right there, right away, without a doubt. That's going to improve the audio quality.
And the new seating arrangement doesn't promote as much foot interaction as sitting across from you. Yeah, I previously
kind of missed that. I miss complaining about that.
Right. Well, that got weird. I don't. So
yeah,
that was actually my motivation for moving spaces, is to simply
the whole
stop
thing. Like
sitting.
Completely different rooms. We had to move them. Completely different location. Had to move it. Why? Yeah, there's a little too much footsie action going on under the table.
It's sustainability. I couldn't sustain this podcast sitting across from you. Yeah. And having that interaction, it just, one person can only take so much uncomfortable.
It's true. That's very true.
And so, yeah, let's get mom out. Let's get the room painted.
Let's kick mom out.
It will be much better for lighting and video, all that. But
the real reason is that I didn't want to touch you. So there's another thing that improves lighting, video, camera, video,
action,
images, whatever. And that's having a better lens.
Yeah.
And there's a new lens staring at me right now.
Yeah. So if it doesn't look right, don't tell me, because it wasn't cheap.
If it looks worse or the same, I don't want to hear about it. If you can't tell the difference, I don't want to know, because I spent too much money.
There is a difference. Whether it'll translate directly in video, I mean, there's not a lot going on here. But
there's a lot going on. I mean, there's not a lot of footsie action going on, but there's a lot going on.
Well, verbally, but I'm just saying, the depth of this scene right now.
Oh yeah,
we don't have much.
No,
there's not much happening here behind us.
Right, but once we get that highly caffeinated music video shot,
sure,
that's where we're going to see, or that's where it's going to pay dividends, so to speak.
Just product pictures and all sorts of stuff. But yeah
it's good stuff.
Music videos. I don't know what you're talking about.
Good stuff. Well, we've got music videos out there, or we're soon going to have a music video out there for the song Highly Caffeinated, which you can go back and listen to one of the daily ristrettos that's up there. You can check it out on iTunes. I don't want to get too right hooky here, but it's out there.
It's there.
It's out there. It's not doing anything, but it's out there.
It sure is.
And we're going to get it. We're going to get it going in time for summer. Nope, summer's already here. We're going to get it going in time for...
Well, it could be summer, just
late summer. Not this summer. Maybe next summer.
Maybe.
We just need more. We need more. And speaking of which, Mike, you brought something up to me, and I want your opinion on it. Mike brought something up to me, and I want your opinion on it. Do you guys want a collection of intro music? Mike hit me up and he said, hey, why don't you put all that music together?
What music are you talking about, Jay?
I'm talking about the intro music for the podcasts.
Yeah, well, maybe not everyone is aware, but each one of those riffs or jingles or what are they called?
Thingies.
Bar dropping.
Bars.
Whatever you want to call them, you create.
Bars.
You create uniquely and specifically for each episode. Correct?
Correct.
Or are you stealing them from somewhere and just saying you create them?
Correct.
Whatever.
Whatevs. You ain't got caught yet. You good to go. You ain't cheating. You ain't competing.
And as much as I don't want you to, have this go to your head, I think a lot of them are really, really good.
Yeah, some of them are not, though. Some of them are
just really good. Some are just good, but some are really, really good. I enjoy them.
When you do that type of volume,
yeah,
you're liable to stumble across something good every once in a while.
Just put it up.
Here and then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we might put something together. If you guys want it, I'll throw it together. If not, if it's just Mike, I'll throw it together for Mike, and that'll be the end of that.
Yeah.
All right.
End of that.
But you know who's going to email me and say that they want it?
No.
Manny G.
You think so?
Manny G's going to hit me up and be like, hey, it's just because he's nice. He's like, hey, you asked on the show, and I'd love to have that, just because he's not going to listen to it.
Yeah.
But,
what are you going to do with it? Oh, I've got plans.
He just wants me to feel good about myself. And, he wants you to feel good about yourself. He wants you to feel good about you as well. And one of the ways that you do that is by drinking a lot of awesome coffee.
Manny G recommends.
It's true.
Manny G recommends Mistobox. Coffee subscriptions personalized for you. So this is the way it works. This is the way Mistobox works.
Misto. They were actually on Shark Tank. Shout out. Yep.
Yeah, on Shark Tank. Yeah. How about that?
And they're actually based in Phoenix.
No.
Yeah.
Phoenix?
Unless I'm just way off, but I'm pretty sure.
You are probably way off.
I usually am.
You are probably way off. In fact, I was going to go all in to Mistobox. And I was going to tell them all of that stuff. But then I don't see anything about us.
I beat
but
you
now
to it.
Now I got to go. Now I got to go find it. Are they in Phoenix? Connor is from Phoenix. Samantha is from Sioux City. Seth is Sirius. We don't know where he's from. Nick is from Dallas. Bailey is from the West Coast. And Melissa is from Denver. Oh, she now lives in Denver.
Mm.
So I don't know where they're
Doesn't say where their headquarters is.
Yeah, it's almost, it makes it
pretty, I want to.
You're right. In May 2013, Mistobox appeared on ABC's Shark Tank and made a deal with Mark Cuban.
There you go.
Mark Cuban. Oh, it was a school project down in Tucson, the University of Arizona. Bear down.
Nice.
The University of Arizona.
Start a business.
Let's start a business.
Take over the world.
You know what? We could do this for us. Orange Cactus Coffee starts as a school project at the Master's College in Santa Clarita, California.
There's connection.
In fall of 2004, 2003, something along those lines.
What have you been doing for 13 years?
Nothing.
We rewrote the business plan a couple times.
And the marketing plan.
We had some supply issues, weather.
Yeah. So anyways, back to the way it works.
How's it work?
You pick a subscription. You get to pick light, medium, or dark roast. And they even have pictures of the beans in there so you can kind of tell. Because we've talked about this at length before.
We have. That might be opening up.
Light, medium, and dark, that don't mean nothing to nobody. Or it means something different to everybody.
It does have meaning. It's just, I don't know if it's universal. And I think it can partly be misleading.
Yeah.
When you the one, yeah, I wanted to say so many things at once. Nothing came out.
Perfect. That sounds great. Is that a key for me to keep going on Mistobox? Or
you've got nothing good to say. Don't say anything
at all.
Yeah.
You can also pick not sure on here.
I like that.
And
option.
you can get and at first I was looking at these because I was just looking at the colors.
It's not a blend.
It was light. It was medium. It was dark. And then it was like, oh, unroasted beans, green beans. But it's like, oh, no, that's the not sure.
Oh, I see.
Do you see the not sure is kind of faded there? If you go to mistobox.com, you can see that it doesn't.
The video. I'll have really a screenshot. I'll show you.
It's not really lit up.
Check out the video.
And then it asks you what type of coffee, espresso, blends, or not sure. It's funny because they'll let you, single origin, they don't give you they don't even offer it in dark. Light, single origin, espresso, blends, not sure. Medium, single origin, espresso, blends, not sure. Dark, espresso, blends, not sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting because
it might be kind of smart.
One of our coffee drinkers out there has said that the saguaro that they received was darker than they typically associate kind of third wave single origin coffee with.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That sweet sag life was a little bit darker than expected.
Sure. It's a little richer.
Yeah. But so would that fall into the dark at Mistobox? And then there'd be a conundrum. There'd be a software shutdown because dark there's no single origin for it.
I don't think, in my opinion, it's not a dark roast. It's a medium to medium dark.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not in second crack range. So we're
such a child.
We're keeping it out.
Second crack.
It's not that dark. It's not oily, it's so I don't think so. And I think the reason they do that is because the reason you buy single origin is because it has unique flavor properties, and it's
you don't want to cook all the flavor out.
It's very pronounced and very unique. And the darker you go, you those properties are reduced. The bean inherent properties are reduced, and you inject the roastiness that a lot of people like.
The roastiness, yeah.
The charcoal, the ash,
Well, the
keep going with
Saguaro has some roastiness to it.
It absolutely does.
Without going dark, without going into second crack, it has some of those darker coffee properties at a lighter body.
It's meant to try and be a balance, a bridge.
Nailed it.
A gateway.
Nailed it.
For those that want to experience more. But something I want to say about this really quickly.
About Mistobox?
Not about Mistobox, but about the light, medium, and dark, and just...
Oh, you remembered what you wanted to say?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, nice.
I know, it's brilliant.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, something to do with the coffee.
Oh, okay.
Thinking about this, and this is a topic we've discussed with Ghost. I'll get it, Ghostly. Don't worry. I'm not going to... What I call him, Goat last time?
Goatly roaster.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if we should let you talk on the mic anymore.
No, you should. You should. It makes you look good.
Did you hear the latest episode from Cat and Cloud?
On the orientation? Or
it was Chris and Jared, right? Chris and Jared always? It wasn't Chris and Jared this time.
Oh, I haven't heard this
Jared wasn't on it. It was Chris and Alex.
Oh, from the shop.
One of the employees from the shop.
Barista? Oh, nice. I don't know if he's a barista, but he works at the shop.
Well, right now he's doing like the wholesaling and whatnot.
Oh, nice.
And we can talk about that a little bit later, but should we replace you with someone else?
Sure. Yeah, good luck.
But I'm more of the Jared.
If you can find someone else that will sit in this chair next to you.
And you're more of the Chris.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
You skateboard.
I used to. Longboard. I don't do the flippity kicks or whatever.
The flip kicks?
I would longboard though again. No.
Okay. We'll keep you around for now.
Well, at least let me get this out and then you can cut it.
Okay.
So thinking about how to describe coffee to people to make it understandable. I think there's so many things. We've talked about this before. Descriptors on the bag. What do they mean? You can give me elevation. You can give me how it was processed. You can give me all these flavor properties and these tasting notes. Does that make a connection? And I was thinking, for me, I think there might be a good way to go about this. And I broke it down into 3 categories. Basically, you can break it down. What kind of acidity does it have? What kind of sweetness does it have? And what kind of body does it have? And I think if you can come up with some type of scale or description that tells people, okay, in this one, it's going to have an acidity that's more along the line of an orange or stone fruit, or it's going to give you something like you tie the acidity to something they can recognize. And then you move on to the sweetness. And what kind of sweetness? Is it a milk chocolate sweetness? Is it a marshmallow sweetness? What kind of sweetness is it? I like that. You know what I mean? So you try and associate, and then finally
Is it a cotton candy to the face?
Exactly.
Is it a blue pixie stick?
You make that known, and I don't know if you have a scale. Maybe you have a beanometer, like Sam's got.
Beanometer?
From Walmart.
Remember, Onyx had the traditional to
they had a scale.
Modern.
But what does that mean?
Scale.
To me, traditional is different than what traditional is to my dad. Is different than what traditional is to
They're trying, though.
My 15-year-old. They're trying.
You have a 15-year-old?
Well, that's a different podcast.
Whoa. All right.
Well, I'm just saying if...
Surprise!
I was putting myself in the middle of that scenario.
Okay.
If you did have a 15-year-old. Because some of you might have a 15 or a 12-year-old.
Right.
But I thought that was
14
a little too young to be promoting coffee drinking, so I went with 15. So I was trying. On the fly, trying.
That's good. You nailed it. You really, really did.
Yeah, it was good.
So back to Mistobox.
The train.
Back to Mistobox. You can pick what type of coffee, single origin, espresso blends, or not sure. And then you can pick how frequently. Now, this is the one that they don't let you pick not sure on. So you can pick...
I don't know.
Every
Surprise
week,
me.
2 weeks, every 3 weeks, or every 4 weeks. There's not a not sure option.
Oh, look, Misto's here. I wonder when Misto's coming out. No, I chose not sure.
I chose not sure.
No idea. Still
they're
fun.
Charging me they're charging my card every week and sending me 2.
It's our 3rd order this week. I know. I chose not sure.
Wow. every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. So if you pick every 2 weeks, you get to pick a favorite
which
or
experience?
an adventure. Yeah, look at that. If you pick every week,
that's interesting. I like that.
Favorite and adventure. I'm going to go adventure. And then you get to pick different payment plans. So basically you can pick a cheaper one or a more expensive one. And then you can, if you pay by the shipment, it's cheaper. And if you pay by, let me see, if you pay single origin, single origin, they have tiers. Look at that, deluxe and exclusive. And then if you pay
with
once, it's more
signs.
Expensive. And then if you pay for 6 or 12 shipments, it's more, and it's always free
you pay
shipping.
up front.
Free shipping, always.
That's cool.
And so
I dig it.
That is the one that Manny G recommends. But
a lot of people like them.
Michael Kincaid, have tried AngelsCup.
I was a member. I was an Angel member.
What was it called? Angel? Is it AngelsCup? AngelsCup. Because if you put AngelsCup in, you get a different product.
Yeah, one that's on a poster at your local mall, right?
Actually, local ladies' doctor's office.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's go on. AngelsCup.
I am not gonna go there. However, if you type in AngelsCup, one word, onto the Google, you will know what I saw. And what has been seen can never be unseen.
Yeah. Well, you saw the link and you stopped there. Good job, buddy.
AngelsCup.
AngelsCup.
This is the one you had.
This is the one I was a member of and still am, but I just paused it because I've got too much coffee.
Tell me about it. What I like about it is that you can pick smaller little packages.
You can pick a flight. They call it a cupping flight, which are 4 smaller samplers, which I thought was perfect. $9.99. And basically, if you don't want a lot of coffee, but you want to taste a lot, this is the way to go. They'll send you out these 4 little packets, and I think they're around 80 grams in each sample packet, and they give you the cards. And the cool thing about AngelsCup, the way it's designed, AngelsCup is designed as a blind tasting experience. You don't have to, but the way they set it up is the packets just have a number, and those numbers correspond with a card that they give you, like a little business card. Now, they also have an app where you can plug that number in, and it will walk you through a tasting, and it's really cool. You can go through, you can do different levels of that. If you just want to use their flavor wheel and pick out a couple flavors and be done with it, great. You can go all the way up to the advanced, where you're trying to guess at the acidity and the body and the aroma and everything. So it kind of is tailored to what you want to do with it. And at the end, you can see how you did. Not only that, you can compare how you thought that coffee tasted to what the roaster said it should taste like, and furthermore, to what the community is getting.
Yeah.
So it's a way to essentially cup with a group if you're by yourself, because they say the best way to taste coffee is in a group, because that's, people can help you pull out or define things that maybe your palate's not trained yet to understand, or you're not picking out. AngelsCup service like this will help you. Yeah,
AngelsCup lets you do that.
It sure does.
It sure does.
They've got that, and then you could step it up where you can actually, and where I think they shine as far as packaging and presentation.
The black box.
The black box. It's so cool. Isn't it cool?
It's very sweet. It is like, they do the Christmas in the mail.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how Mistobox does it. I'm sure they do a good job.
I think they do too, yeah.
But you do get a lot of coffee. I mean, you get the full 12 ounces. And if you don't like it, that's a lot of coffee that you don't like, that you got left over hanging out with you. As opposed to the AngelsCup, if you don't like it, well, it's only like 2 or 3 cups of coffee. You're good to go. I mean, 4 if you do 20 gram serving. If you do 20 grams, 300 kind of little mugs.
Exactly. And I think I misspoke, earlier, because the flight, they're not 80 gram packs. They're smaller.
Okay. What are they?
The black box is 80 gram packs. 4 80 gram packs. Does it say? Does it tell you there so we can...
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
But I think the black box, gives you 4 80 gram packs, and then the flight is...
Look at that. You can have it ground for your convenience. You can have it pre-ground for your convenience as well.
Mm-hmm. Which is a whole nother topic, but...
Which is interesting.
They're good. They also offer a light, medium selection, so you can kind of choose, or you can say a mixture of both.
Yeah.
So they kind of threw that in there, and that's something fairly new. So... It's a great way to try a lot of good coffee from all over. And they've featured Peixoto, one of our down in Chandler, one of our more local roasters, a couple times. They also have what they call AngelsCup All-Star, which is a single offering, 12-ounce bag usually, of usually an excellent coffee, a premier coffee. Sometimes it's like a geisha or something special that they found, and they want to feature. You can just order a bag of that. So great services either way, and I know there's more of them out there. Check them out, try them, but these two I think people really like. And one thing I do like is AngelsCup is very active in social medias. There's a whole AngelsCup forum on Facebook, a group that the owners are very active in. I don't think I've never not seen them respond to a question or a post. And I think Mistobox as well is very active. So I think that's cool when you can interact with the company. I see people all the time saying, hey, my shipment didn't show up. And they're like, yeah, sorry about that. We got something coming to you. You know what I mean? Like, they're just openly engaging and making it easy for people to provide feedback and just have a good community to interact in.
That does. So Manny G recommends subscription services for coffees. That kind of brings me into our next two sections, I guess, because what we're drinking right now is a KingCup contender, or actually the KingCup bean that we bought. This is the Baraka.
We done bought it.
And this is a roast. What do you think of this roast?
This is a roast that is very fresh. Not even about 12 hours off the roast, which is a little soon to be trying it.
It feels a little dark to me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Is something happening to me?
This is a very light roast.
What's happening to my body?
Well, you're just turning into a Norwegian. You like the the super light. No, this is a very light roast.
Is it?
It is. Yeah, it's just into first, and even just barely out of first crack, which is very light. But what are you getting? What do you think?
Well, I think it's good. I like the acidity. I like it's kicking me in the side of the mouth.
It's got a little acidity, and it's so fresh. You get those extra properties.
You're going to let it sit for a day or two.
But I think the sweetness in the finish is nice.
I'm getting a lot of lime. That's the finish is what I think is the best about it. It's very smooth. Mm-hmm. Like, it gives me all that flavor. It gives me all that body. It gives me that slap in the face. It gives me that lemon zinger.
Bam.
But it doesn't make me pay for it. It's like, it gives me all that flavor. It lets me slide on it. So, hey,
I got you.
Don't worry about it. I got you. He
gives you the wink?
Yeah, gives me the wink. And then, because sometimes the aftertaste that lingers is kind of bitter and bad.
Yeah.
And that's really what does it, what kind of turns me off. I want all that flavor up front, but I don't want to have to pay for it at the end. And that's kind of what this is, what this roast that you're bringing to my attention today is doing. What are you getting out of it?
I'm getting a good balance, which I'm quite happy with. And that's always, I'm very critical of my own roasting, and they say always cup and share with others.
I'm more critical of you when you're not around than when you're, physically present.
Why?
Just it's easier to talk about you behind your back than it is when you're right here.
I'm not an aggressive person.
I'm teasing. This is very good. I could probably drink this black all day. Well, that gets us into the next thing. I could drink this black all day.
I found that too.
But we're not drinking it black. We're drinking it as Manny G. Since we just got done with Manny G Recommends, Manny G calls it neat.
Ooh, we're drinking it neat.
We're drinking it neat.
Neat and tidy?
We're drinking it neat. But we have another challenger. Do you remember who said this? Who recommended this? Can we give a shout out?
Yeah, we can. I'll pull it up as we're talking about it.
We've talked about this before, and we want to call it something better than just black or plain. We just don't feel that it describes what's really going on inside the cup. It's just because it's not plain, and it's not plain black, and it's not just whatever. It is actually flavorful. It is neat. I mean, neat does kind of describe it a little bit because some of the flavors are very nuanced and specific and distinct. Like, I'm getting some of this lemon, and you get kind of the stone fruit, and you get that acidity, and you've gotten blueberries and cherries and pixie sticks. Okay, I've never gotten pixie sticks, but
what do you mean?
One of the comments on our YouTube video. Yeah, just play the video while we're talking.
Well, to pull up the comments, it does the autoplay. But I got it. I found it.
Gotcha.
I got you.
Something even better, we thought. Mike thought.
Thank you. I don't know what you're saying. I was paying attention to my
Pure.
phone. Oh,
How do you take your coffee? I take it pure.
yeah. And so,
Who threw that out there?
yeah, here we go. We were talking about this for a while, and Ryan Fisher on our bullet unboxing video,
Big shout outs, Ryan.
he said, hey, he's excited about the King Cup. Thank you, Ryan. And I'm getting a little more as we're drinking it.
Yeah.
I think this is a nice, but he says, no black coffee, pure coffee. And I said, that's a great name. And he says what made him think of that, there's a fragrance with that name of it, and he thought it fit.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thanks, Ryan.
Pure. So pure or neat. I think we need to have a cage match between pure and neat to see what we're going to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. That reminds me of the battle between gyms that needs to happen at some point.
The James Freeman, James Hoffman battle royale.
Cat and Clap
Cage
want to
match.
arrange that.
And
they want
then
to sponsor
didn't
that.
they want to put Scott Rayo and Deaton Piggott in the cage as well?
No, I think you said that.
Oh, I said that. Oh, okay. So I know somebody did.
I think you perceived some differences in opinion and roast style, which there is, but I don't think they're by no means.
Who are we going to put Tim Wendelboe in the cage against?
I don't know. Tim's everybody's friend.
I know, but look, if Neat and Pure are fighting, the two gyms are fighting.
Yeah. I would say, okay,
and
I got
Deaton
it.
are fighting.
I got it. Here it
Who's
is.
Jim fight?
William
Tim.
Booth. William Booth?
Who's William Booth?
Oh, I hope I got that right.
Because
Because I think William Booth was also...
an assassin?
Yeah, exactly. Coffee Courses Online, the instructor, and I know Valerian is partnered with him.
Can we make Tim fight Valerian? Valerian's got
No.
a couple years on him.
Not Valerian. Go to Coffee Courses.
Actually, William Booth was a British Methodist preacher who founded the Salvation Army.
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job. Who do you mean now? What are you talking about?
But I still think it might be the same name.
Okay.
Go to Coffee Courses
Coffee
Online.
Courses.
Well, and the reason I mentioned this, we'll get his name right. I'm pretty sure it's Booth. I'm really bad with names. Don't take it personal. He was mentioning in one of the videos.
Online barista training or Coffee Courses Online?
Coffee Courses Online.
Bootcamp Coffee?
Yeah.
Coffeecourses.com.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
There we
So
go.
they're first page Google, but they're not at the top.
Yeah, so that gentleman there, does it say his name?
They want to send me notifications. They want to send me push notifications. Y'all need to get that off.
I like those for certain sites. I really do. Like if you're on certain sites, like music sites. Like
push notifications?
Yeah, because it tells me the name of the song.
Willem Boot.
William Boot. I was way off. Willem
Boot.
I was in the same WB family.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know his whole roasting philosophy,
I think
but
Daniel might put up a better fight than
here's the reason.
Okay.
I'll give you the reason, because in one of the videos I was watching, he was assessing a roast, and one of the roasters that he was breaking down, he says, I would guess that they are using a Loring. And he says the reason I guess they're using a Loring is because he thinks he can taste in the coffee that the recyclated yes, recycled air, because the way Loring, thank you.
Like recyclated.
Me too.
The recyclated air of
the
Loring.
recyclated air. So the way the Loring works is it.
So Willem Boot says that he thinks he can taste the recirculated air of the Loring in a coffee.
Yes, he believes that if you don't properly clean the vents and it's not incinerating all the particulates off, however it works, when the air comes back in, it's introducing a roastiness that's impacting the flavor of the coffee. So in a negative way.
So Willem says you got to clean your stuff.
He says for those particular roasters, it's extra important that you clean. Make sure that the vents are clean. Make sure that the incinerator, I don't know all the intricacies of the Loring, but
so because Tim loves the Loring, you think him and Willem need to duke it out?
Tim would be like, "You're absolutely right. Keep it clean." I don't know, but I just thought there.
What about could we put Chris Baca up against Tim Wendelboe?
Chris Baca,
yeah. Can we put Chris up in there?
Chris would be a good one.
Jared could fight Willem because Jared's he's a big time CrossFitter. He's going to put something down.
Well, he might not have physical.
He might not have the
interactions.
technique.
I thought we were talking about philosophies of coffee.
I thought we were talking about cage fighting.
No.
What do you tell me? Do you bring your philosophies to cage fights?
I thought we were talking about like
Cat and Cloud
debates.
said the two gyms should have a cage fight. To me, that is unmistakable.
I use that as a metaphor.
A metaphor.
That they would their philosophies about coffee would need to go to battle. But they meant physical, I guess.
Chris and Jared, you got to clear this up because we need to know. We need to know if this is happening on the next UFC undercard or not.
I guess for me, I'm more interested in knowing about the philosophies of coffee than who would win physically.
So you don't want to fight Jared?
Absolutely not.
So that brings us to our next subject.
Good stuff.
Just a little update on what we're doing. We are not cage fighting. We are not promoting cage fights, but we're trying to dial in the KingCup roast. And this is very, very good, Mike. I think we might be onto something.
We're getting close.
We really might be.
I'm going to try a few things to draw the roast out a little longer and increase that Maillard reaction, the my reaction.
Yeah, the Maillard reaction. Mm-hmm.
The time from when it first starts to yellow to first crack. I'm going to try and stretch that out a little bit.
Stretch it out.
Stretch it on out. Give it a little more body. I'm still trying to learn these phases and how to manipulate them. And that's what I've been engrossed in as I've been watching videos. And one thing that I found very valuable is Roaster Joe has teamed up with, I just stumbled across this.
Who's Roaster Joe fighting?
Roaster Joe is in the business of fighting green coffee beans. And he wrestles them. He wrestles them into submission. Makes them his own.
Oh, stop.
You brought it up. Roaster Joe from Cafe Imports teamed up with...
Roaster Joe's got great videos, by the way.
He does. Why am I blanking? No, it's not Mill City. Thank you. Mill City. And they did like this coffee course. This online, we're going to teach you how to roast. We're going to go through and they've done all these videos about 45 minutes to an hour long.
Yeah.
And he goes through the whole kind of, it's like roasting theory 101. What's going on in the roast and how you can manipulate the roast. It's excellent. It's very similar to Rob Hoos, who just came out with that manifesto book about manipulating the roast profile. I see a lot of similarities. I see some differences. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go with. The nice thing about Roaster Joe is he's like, here's where you need to start. Here are the rules, learn them, and then learn how you can break them. And that holds true for almost anything you're trying to learn, right? With sports, you could speak specifically with football.
Yeah.
Here are the fundamentals. Yes, you can break these and these, but you need to start here. Right? Once you understand why you stick to the fundamentals and why you need to come back to them sometimes, then you understand why it's okay to break them and go outside of them. And three things he said in his video that I'll throw out there that I found very valuable is he said, always start with the same charge temp. Pick a charge temp, that you're going to start with. Pick an amount of beans, same amount of beans that you want to roast each time. And then make sure that those beans are always at a standard room temperature.
Yeah.
Which that clicked for me because, right, if you're starting with a 350 on the roaster, you're charging at 350 and you're always roasting 400 grams, but your bean temps, maybe they're fluctuating. Maybe they're 60 degrees because you're roasting in the morning and you're keeping them in the garage like I have. And then if you're roasting in the heat of the day, maybe those beans are now 90 degrees. So they're going to react to that heat much differently, and it's going to have a whole different impact.
So you're just trying to produce kind of a consistent environment,
keep those three variables the same, and then learn how to manipulate the heat. Pick one variable and alter it. And then go, okay, I see what that does. Got it. Now, keep those three variables the same. Now alter the airflow. I see what that does. And for me, it's really helped.
It's a lot of experimentation.
It is. And you do go through a lot of beans because I found it hard, and that's one of the things that I've kind of discovered lately is I was trying to do smaller batches for the sake of not wasting coffee.
Yeah, can't do it.
You can't because even once you get, for me, I don't know roasting well enough that if I get a 200 gram batch dialed in, how do I scale that to 400? How do I scale that to a kilo? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I got to practice.
Yeah.
So why not just spend my time practicing on those fuller batches? And that's what they pretty much said. You have to use full batches. Don't try to go too skim. Go to your roast. You're going to waste beans. And I think Manny G.
But it's not wasting.
It's not wasting. He said this before, if you can accelerate or do what's necessary up front to get to that endpoint quicker, it's okay. It's an investment.
Absolutely.
Do it.
Absolutely. Because it kind of brings me to what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, good. You're welcome.
Is this, do we want to sell more coffee? Are we actually trying to sell coffee? Because we don't throw a lot of right hooks, to be just real honest with you. And we haven't been selling a whole lot of coffee. However, our YouTube viewership is growing. Our podcast listenership is growing. So thank you for listening and watching.
Appreciate you guys.
And many of you are buying as well. I'm not saying we're not selling any, but we're not really, we're not trying to get onto AngelsCup. No. We're not trying to get wholesale accounts. Nope. We're not trying to, get into local farmers markets.
We're just not promoting it at all, really.
We're not promoting it at all. We're not running Facebook campaigns, or we're not running ad campaigns to try and sell coffee.
No.
Now, should we be, or have we gotten comfortable? Have we gotten complacent with just sitting here, meeting up, talking about coffee,
how you doing?
How you doing? And that's the next step, and we need to get off our butt? Or are we at a good pace and a good trajectory? What are your thoughts on that?
For me, I would agree with you. We are not. And I am specifically not, because we're not ready. I am not ready as a roaster with the bullet yet. There's a lot of learning. And with the bullet comes the ability to manipulate so many other variables that I've had to. And I was talking to Manny about this week. I told him I actually took a little break from roasting just to kind of learn. And I was spending, instead of nights roasting, I was just watching hours and hours of videos, taking notes, formulating, okay, how am I going to put this into practice? And just last night, or early this morning, is when I did 3 batches, putting all this stuff that I've just kind of learned into the cup. And
yeah, it's very good.
And I'm encouraged that it's not horrible. And this particular batch was the best, so I brought it over for you to try.
I'm impressed.
And so that's encouraging. And I think that's where I want to get to, where I understand how to manipulate it a little better. And then we get a new bean and dial it in. I use these principles because they hold true for all beans. Even though beans have their own characteristics, these principles will apply to all beans. And then we can start knocking it out.
So let's fast forward. Let's say your training is complete. You are no longer a Padawan learner. You're now a Jedi master.
Just comfortable.
Do you still want to do wholesale accounts? Cat and Cloud were talking about wholesale accounts. They just where you provide coffee shops with coffee, and it just seems like a pain, man. Like, it seems like there's good money involved, but you kind
of become a rep and a distributor.
You're becoming a rep. You're becoming a distributor.
Yeah.
It seems like you have to do blends. Now, one of the things they do is they are a provider of single origin coffees to a cafe, and they've got their blends lined up as well. So they've got the one cafe, they were talking about this in their podcast, they have their blends, but for single origins, they use Cat and Cloud.
Gotcha.
That would be interesting, because that would enable us to say, well, hey, if you like this saguaro,
exactly,
you can have it. But we're not
making a custom roast.
We're not making a custom roast for you. Yeah. It's just not what we want to do. It's not on our list. And is that jerk mode, or is that just keeping it real and being honest and transparent?
No, that's just focused. Right now, we can only focus on so much. We have very limited resources and time and money.
Stop. So we got all the time in the world here.
We have to focus it. And I think for us, what excites me still is that direct to consumer, and even. You ever seen Even Stevens? Remember that show? Even Stevens.
Tell me more, please. So direct to consumer excites you, and
even
trying to get into
local. Absolutely not. Local direct to consumer. Meaning we have people that learn about us, and we either hand deliver or we ship local.
You know what excites me?
Build that out.
Opening a retail location and going and knocking on everyone's door in town and inviting them over for a free cup of coffee.
That excites you?
That excites me.
You crazy.
I know.
They ain't going to open your door.
I got problems.
There's a man. You see, look at the people. You see he's knocking on our door?
There's
he's smiling.
This dude outside.
He's holding the paper.
Yeah.
They'll think you're from some church or something. Yeah. They ain't going to open the door.
That excites me. That really does excite me. Okay, so right now we're just not ready. So we're just going to continue to be patient. We're going to continue to, try to put out great content, provide you value, and keep you up to date with what we're doing as we move along. Can I give you one more update?
What do you want to say?
It's a surprise.
For me? For everybody?
For you, for everyone.
Are we done talking about? Because I have more to say along that business plan.
Well,
or should we save it?
This has to do with the Orange Cactus Coffee business. Because
good. I'm glad you included me.
You've told me to take over this portion. I have in the works a design for the giant saguaro poster and t-shirt.
Oh, nice.
I also emailed Johnny Cupcakes. Because I love me some Johnny Cupcakes. And I just poured my heart out. It was such an embarrassing email. I was like, I don't know what to do. I want to do Christmas in the mail. But then there's people
you
like
just ramble on.
I was just rambling on and on. And then they said, well,
confused.
I'm so confused. Okay, you've got options. You can wait, save money, make your own shirts.
Yeah.
You can hire someone else to make your shirts.
Johnny said
to
this.
Order.
Or whoever was speaking.
One of their reps. She was great, though. One of the reps.
She was giving you advice? Business advice?
Business advice.
Wow.
She was great.
Good job.
She was great.
Good job, Johnny.
And so then she says, but remember, she says, you're not stuck in that. You can always switch later. He's like, if you choose Printful now with print on demand because you don't have any money and your shirts do well, you could always switch to doing your own thing later.
We're not locked in.
We're not locked in.
It's not a lifelong commitment.
You're not locked in.
We're not married.
How would we put that on the store? We would say, hey, your coffee is coming from a different place than everything else. And your coffee is going to come, super wowed out. Wow. And your shirt is going to come in a Ziploc bag with a sticker on it. You know what I mean? How do you do that? How do you reconcile those two?
You don't. You accept that
I can't.
We are limited.
I'm struggling with it.
I know it's hard for me too, but we ain't got the funds.
Because if the beans come in awesome,
it's good.
How can the t-shirt show up not awesome?
Because we're not a t-shirt company.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I was looking at screen printing. That's the next thing.
But that's just it.
Guess what's on its way in the mail?
It's a supplement. It's a compliment.
It's a compliment to the coffee. A coffee compliment.
We pick what we're doing. We stay in our
condiment.
lane.
Stay
in your lane.
It's the condiment bar and the compliment bar.
There you go. Or the criticism room.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. So you're saying.
That's all I was saying. I agree. I think there is value in using the resources you have. And yes, I mean, even like now, we want to do so much with this space. We want to do so much with the coffee. We want to do so much with the shirts and the hats and the mugs. But we can't.
Yeah,
we can't do what we want to do. Even if we get to a point where we can open up a shop, we're realistically, we're not going to be able to do that $1 million store we want to open, where Mod Bar comes out of the counter, raises up.
That's all I'm doing. Then I'm not doing it. If I can't do Mod Bar in a bar, I ain't doing it.
Think of the origin stories. They all start with what they got.
That's where we're at.
And they hustle. And people connect with that, though.
Yeah.
They really do. They say, look, we've got this little shop.
You got to tell your story.
We're trying to do the best we can.
We're a couple of bums.
We care.
Yeah.
All we've got are V60s and French presses. But it's amazing coffee.
We're right at 43 minutes. And it's time to wrap it up. But there's a joint. I was on Kickstarter because I'm not real familiar with Kickstarter. I'm not a huge Kickstarter fan.
It's a good platform.
So I just looked. I said, I wanted to look what was out there.
Yeah.
So I put coffee on Kickstarter.
Probably got tons of stuff.
And I had tons of stuff. So then I switched it to just in Arizona. And I found this guy down in Tucson. His video was terrible. His Kickstarter video, it was
not very good.
It was not very good. But he got funded. He got the money that he needed.
Nice.
It was like $5,000 he wanted, and he got $5,300 or $5,600, something like that.
Yeah, very reasonable. He didn't ask for.
He wasn't asking for the world. All he wanted to do was go from a cart outside the building into a little window inside the building.
Yeah, I just want to come in.
That's it.
Just let me in.
That's it. Said he spent an hour and a half setting it up in the morning and an hour and a half taking it down in the afternoon.
I can relate to that.
Also, all he does was French press and espresso. So his
espresso or Nespresso?
Ooh, man, Nespresso. No, he does French press and espresso.
Good.
French press and espresso. limits. Nothing.
I like it.
But I think he
Love
French
it.
press makes it and then puts them into AirPods.
That's cool. You've done something
I've
similar.
done that. I do that for the football.
It's a lot of
families.
work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hour setup, all
Yeah.
that prep.
Yeah.
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 Give the man a space.
I like the idea of doing individual cup pour-overs. I think I don't want a batch brewer at all.
What?
At all.
Ooh, mark this.
Yeah.
Mark this.
Put the date down.
Are we recording? Or did you shut it off?
We're recording. No, I didn't shut it off.
You still have
We're done.
opportunity to cut this
I'm
out.
done. I can edit it out, but I'm not going to. I think I'm finally done with
It's so much
batch
more
brewers.
personable. Personable?
I'm done with
Man,
batch brewers.
I'm on it today.
You are
personal.
really, really good today.
Thank you. Oh, appreciate y'all.
And are we going to do Coffee Legends?
We'll throw that in next, because next episode, right?
Well, then we have Coffee History and Coffee Legends next time.
Well, we can throw it in. Let's throw it in. We'll
could
wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
We could wrap it up now, and then we could do Coffee History and Coffee Legends next time.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But it's okay. Maybe
All right.
we need it.
All right. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Next time.
Yeah.
Come check it out. We're going to talk about...
Francesco Illy.
Yeah. Anyway.
And coffee history.
And coffee history.
And we had no coffee experience. We're going to have to do 2 coffee experiences next
We had
time.
no coffee experience?
No, I didn't talk about the Rafter 11. Okay.
You talk too much.
Sorry. Yes. So here we are rambling on again at the end.
Tune in next time to see what happens to Woody and the gang.
Thank you. I don't know what happens to Woody and the gang next time, but I sure do appreciate you tuning in for the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast Coffee Experience. Thank you so much. Show notes are at orangecactuscoffee.com/episode 63. And we will have Coffee History, Coffee Legends next time for you in episode 64.